Hello, my fellow Keyblade wielders, and welcome back to another video. I am the Kingdom Key, and in today's video for you all, we're going to be discussing the recent interview with Tetsuya Nomura. He was mainly asked about Final Fantasy, but he did actually answer some questions to do with Kingdom Hearts. And I've got two special guests with me. They were actually here in the last video before the one that Nick did for me. So, Nick and Joe, how are you guys doing?
Hey man, I'm doing just fine. Glad to be on the show, you know?
Same here, guys. I'm also doing very well.
That's great. So guys, we're going to talk about just 3 key points because this interview is kind of lengthy when you look at all the information in one take, but we will leave a link down in the description below if you guys want to read the full article for yourself. But we're going to cover these 3 main points as we think that they are the most important. So the first one, Kingdom Hearts 4 story is considered a reset and new saga, and it is being made with the intention of newcomers to easily jump in. So how do you guys feel about that for Kingdom Hearts 4 not just being a continuation in a sense, but it is like a new jumping on point for fresh newcomers to come into the franchise? Joe, why don't you go first?
Okay, well, it's really nice to have another way of entry into the series that is really welcoming to new people. Like, it reminds me a lot of how Final Fantasy 15 did the same thing when that came out. Like, it's marketed as for fans and first-timers. Yeah. It's a nice little addition.
I know you've not played it, but 16 is the same way.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah. Nick, any thoughts you want to share about that?
So the deal with this is I'm really happy with what they're doing with this, because not only is this a good decision for all the games in terms from like marketing statement or like a marketing position, because it's going to allow more people to get into it, and but it's also good for the fans because it's also something familiar, but it's something new. It's like a fresh start, and
yeah, it's very refreshing.
Yeah, it's a fresh start, one that we needed for a long time, in my opinion. I think people have been getting sick of Xehanort ever since probably even pre-KH3. And then, yeah, I think ever since then we probably needed a fresh start. Not only that, but it also will allow a lot more newcomers to get introduced into the series and maybe even check out the classic games like KH1 and 2 eventually. But it's a good thing for newcomers, and it's really a good thing overall for the series. It's going to allow more fans to get in on the fun, allow more people to play the games. It's going to be a lot more accessible to new players, if that's what makes sense. But yeah, it's a really good decision for, I think, us, the old fans, the new fans, the Square Enix. Overall, I think it's a great decision that they made.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because also it's like, not only that, but it's like if they then decide, oh, I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 4 when I go back and play the previous one, they also have like a whole recap in that Kingdom Hearts like cutscene in the menu where it just like recaps what happened throughout the entire series. So yeah, they can easily do that, or I would imagine, I'm not saying that they will, but I would imagine maybe they're going to incorporate that again in Kingdom Hearts 4, maybe in the main menu or in the special or something. But anyway, guys, let's move on to our next turn of point. So here we go. So this is a very now important bit of information. So here we go. There's actually a significant meaning behind Sora's famous line where he says at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, "Is any of this for real or not?" And it will eventually be explained. So what do you guys actually think about this? How do you feel about it? Nick, I'll let you go first, as Joe went first last time. So Nick, how do you feel about that?
Okay, so for this one, I don't know. I never saw this line as anything particularly important or big. But one thing I will say is that it kind of gives me that feeling of, is it all a dream? Like, is it all in Sora's like head? Is it all just one big dream? I doubt it is, because that would probably be a way too big of a slap to the face to all of us as fans. But it does leave you thinking, you know? But I never... it does...
Yeah, you wouldn't think like a line at the beginning of the first game would become like something with such significant meaning.
Yeah, again, I always saw it kind of like some sort of mystical shit. Like they said something for the sake of just saying something weird, just to get us hooked. But like,
But then
now that
again, like
it's actually
we
gonna
we
have a
should have looked
meaning.
into this more because of Yuzora then says it at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah,
Remind.
yeah, that is true. I keep forgetting that. But now that they actually said that it's actually gonna have a meaning and it's actually gonna be important for whatever reason, I'm excited for it. You know?
Yeah. Okay, Joe, what's your 2 cents on this? Because I like what Nick's saying. I feel the same way with some of his opinions. Joe, you got anything that you want to add or anything that you feel differently?
The big takeaway I took from that is, like, we had obviously that quote has been around since the very beginning. The fact that, like, Quadratum wasn't even conceived when that quote was around since the first game, but now that it's being taken into effect now and iterated on, it's really, like, mind-blowing. Nomura magic for you, am I right?
Joe, that is actually kind of great that you say that, Joe, because again, I'm not including the full interview because guys will be here for bloody ages. But Nomura actually does state in one of the things he says in this interview actually is that Quadratum isn't a 1-for-1 scale of Tokyo. It has influence, but Quadratum is an unreality in a reality. That's something that he said. So with what Joe said, that kind of lines up in a way. So maybe that's it. But guys, please go on ahead and read the full interviews. We won't be covering that in this video. Now,
Yeah.
in my opinion, with this line, I would 100% agree with Nick. I would absolutely hate it if it was like, this was all in Sora's head and blah blah blah. Because like there is already like a fan theory out there. I'm not dogging on the fan theory. It's a very well done fan theory, and they put it together well. But it's basically to do with Sora goes through like grief and trauma, and then ends up in a coma, and basically all of these adventures are in his head because Kairi and Riku were the boy and girl that he was too afraid to make friends with because apparently he suffers with social anxiety and something. And then his favorite video game series is Final Fantasy, and his favorite movie franchises are Disney. So like he's like in a coma and he's imagining all of this. So I would hate it if that was the case, but I don't think Nomura would be like, haha, F you. Like I don't think Nomura would do that. But yeah, do you guys have anything else to say on this, or are you guys ready for the final part that we're just going to skip on to?
Yeah, just one more thing, man. Because what did you mention? I think Joe, you mentioned something about Quadratum not being conceived back then. Funny thing is, I think he said in that interview that ever since KH1 Quadratum was meant to be a thing, and I can't help but have that remind me instantly of the secret KH1 final mix ending that takes place in the world that never was, with the whole Roxas and Riku fight. Like that's, in my opinion, and this is really a stretch, that could have been the first snippets of Quadratum, but that probably eventually was turned into the world that never was. It just looks too similar to me, man.
Okay, I could. Interesting to think about, but yeah, it probably got, yeah, like you said, scrapped and then turned into the world that never was. But you know, we didn't know what it was originally meant to be back in the day, so
Yeah,
you could be right. But you know,
we
guys,
don't know
don't
that.
come at him with pitchforks and torches and swords and blazing dragons. Like, don't come at him. But yeah, guys, final part that we're going to be covering, and I know lots of Kingdom Hearts fans are very upset. Some are distraught. Some are like ready to throw Donald out the window. But here we go. So here we go. Let's see if the dyslexic can handle that. Director of Kingdom Hearts series, Thanks, Nick. The director of the Kingdom Hearts series, Tetsuya Nomura, says he's currently making Kingdom Hearts 4 with the intention of the story eventually completing. He says he only has a few years left until he retires and wants to help finish it before then. So, if you guys don't know, and Nick and I did actually fact check this earlier, Tetsuya Nomura is 53 years old. Retirement age is 60 in Japan. That is 7 years away from that. So there you go. Or I could be wrong because I want to do math. I'm not a mathematic person. But with this being said, and I want to focus mainly on the key part here, is that says he's currently making Kingdom Hearts 4 with the intention of the story eventually completing. Now, when he says that, I don't think that means, hey, Kingdom Hearts 4 is the be-all end-all, because it says eventually completing. So do you guys think, realistically, we're gonna maybe get 1 or 2 more games, and then, like, Nomura might decide to push his retirement to maybe, let's say, 67, or maybe 70? What do you guys think? And realistically, how many more games do you think we're gonna get out of the saga? So Joe, you can go first this time.
Okay, so pretty much you hit the nail on the dot there. I think we could inevitably be seeing after 4 at least 2, maybe to a stretch 3 more Kingdom Hearts games, and then the conclusion of this next saga.
Joe, what are your thoughts on Nomura retiring as well? Because I know, like, we kind of had like a miniature chat about this in the server, like very small, like little text. But what's your overall like feeling when you read that?
My feeling when I read it, okay. I think like he's been in the industry for a while. He started character designing Final Fantasy characters since 7, the original. He's had a lot of time to really have influence in the industry, and he's made great strides, and I'm proud of him for that, and he should get retirement after all of these years, and Kingdom Hearts is his magnum opus. I think he should end it on a good note before he goes into retirement.
Alright, that's fair. Nick, how did you feel when you heard our boy Nomura is going to be retiring? And realistically, how many games do you see after 4?
Let's start off with the first one you asked me. You know, it's a bittersweet moment, because all good things must come to an end, of course. But I will say one thing, and that no one can say anything other than this about it. Like, no chance. The guy deserves it. This guy, if anyone deserves retirement, it's this guy. This dude's been working his ass off on all of these games for the past 20 years, and if he deserves something, that's fucking retirement, dude. That's what I'll say. Yes, I am sad that it's all coming to an end, and I get all that. But you gotta... One thing I gotta say for everyone here that's watching this. Don't be sad because it's ending. Be happy that it happened in the first place. And it sounds so fucking cheesy, and I get it, but it's so true, dude. With regards to the games... I don't know, man. I mean, I've heard some rumors that between Missing Link and Cage 4 there will be another game, which someone confirmed that in the comments because I have no clue. But if we don't get that, let's say we get Missing Link, then Cage 4, then I think we're looking at, just like Joe said, 1, 2, likely, maybe at the most 3 games, like non-numbered ones, and then have it all be all end all, end everything off with Cage 5, and I think that's gonna be the end.
I mean, I can kind of agree with you and Joe, but I think, and this is just my opinion, I agree with what you guys are saying on the most part, and some parts I agree with and disagree with, but, and respectfully so, but I think realistically, right, if Nomura is retiring at the age of 60, I think Kingdom Hearts 5 could be the very, very end one, but I don't think we're gonna get, like, you know, like 10 more years of like in-between games, and then like a numbered title, then an in-between like non-numbered title, then, you know, another numbered title. I think at the very least it will be Missing Link for maybe 1 non-numbered title, then maybe 2 more games at a stretch. But I think, in all honesty, Nomura will just 4, 5, and 6, if there are any after this. I do want to mention my friend Ren said, and this is quite funny, he said maybe it'll be a massive game that's going to contain 2 discs. So that would be crazy.
As funny as it sounds, it would be really cool, not gonna lie.
It would. Like, imagine like part 1, part 2 of Kingdom Hearts 4, like that would be insane. My PlayStation would probably start crying. Probably require more more storage than the PlayStation 5 has. But, guys, we hope that you enjoyed this video, but before I close off, I just want to say, and I know that Nomura does apparently watch Kingdom Hearts YouTube videos to help himself with the lore and stuff, because no one knows everything about Kingdom Hearts, not even the guy who's been mainly writing it. I just want to say, Nomura has impacted my life and all of our lives in so many ways with his storytelling in Kingdom Hearts. And I just want to say, and I'm sure that both of you guys want to say it as well, Tetsuya Nomura, thank you. And when you do retire, have a great retirement, because if it wasn't for Nomura, Joe, Nick, and so many of our other friends, we would not all know each other because of it. So,
I'll put it in the most simple way for y'all, before we end this off. We would not be sitting here talking about this right now, and you would not be watching this very video.
There you go.
If it wasn't for him.
Yeah. Joe, any final notes you want to add as well?
I have a little appreciation. Like they said, thank you, Tetsuya Nomura, for creating an amazing game franchise, which brought all of us together, watching and making these videos. And have a happy, very happy retirement when you do finish the series, or whichever happens first.
With that all being said, I'm the Kingdom Key. Joe and Nick, thank you guys for being here. If you guys liked the video, please slap a like on it. It really helps me out. Yes, I'm here. I've returned on a Sunday out of all days. I clearly did not think this one ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. If you did enjoy the video and you're new here, please do me a favor and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and there is never Kingdom Hearts content lacking on my channel. Another favor that I would like to ask of you all is to please go ahead and subscribe to both Nick's Gaming Den and JoJo's Got Flow. They both create amazing content, and they are both really good at editing videos, far more than I will ever be good at doing. So thank you all so much for watching. We hope that you all enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. I hope that you all have a great day. May your heart be your guiding key. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.